Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M44, the Tier 6 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Lakeville under the command of NightshadeBunny of OLIMP, and she's got the rammer, the binoculars, and the exhaust. Game on. Okay, it's a 155mm howitzer capable of 500 alpha, but she's actually packing... Oh, there's the 500 alpha. She's packing the non-stun HE to get 600 alpha and 49mm of pen, but you have to get the shell close because your blast radius is only 4 meters. Okay. She's going to park near the city and try and get shots on the enemy. Enemy's been spotted in the valley, but there's no light tank close enough to actually spot any of the enemy in this area. All we've got is an IKB-103 right at the end of the lake road, but no light tanks in sight. So, oh, there is a light tank actually. He's only a short distance away from us. Okay, now he's in the wrong place really. He should be a lot closer. We've got a Type 64 and he's really not where he needs to be to find out where the enemy is. An AMX CLC's managed to make it all the way down the lake road, so bad news for us. In the meantime, you can see NightshadeBunny is actually aiming for the tank that was spotted near the enemy cap area. KV-1 was spotted over there. She's now trying to get a shot in this AMX. You need to lead the target a little, but the target gets wiped out by the Type 64, so he was doing his job in the end. And NightshadeBunny puts a round into the bushes at the end of the lake road just in case somebody was there. Now, I'm not sure she was actually looking where she was driving there. Went straight into the dead M10. Enemy tank was spotted in the town, but he's been wiped out. So 59-16. I could hear some distraction going on there in the background. So it sounds like there's an enemy tank in position at A7. That's why somebody was indicating. I think somebody may have spotted them or been spotted in the town as well. Yeah, we definitely heard something being knocked over around about here. That's more of a speculative shot at the moment. The thing is that most of the time, if there is an enemy ahead of our tanks, he'll be at the farther end or the furthest end of their view range. So you'd normally look around about 300 or 400 meters away. In fact, there you go. The KV-1 has suddenly appeared and he's around about 300 meters away. So that's where you need to be looking when you're looking ahead of our guys as they're moving about. Try and work out where they're going to be seeing and when they'll first spot the enemy. Rounds out. Direct hit. Very good shot. 195 from that one. She's still firing the non-stun HE. And the KV-1 goes down to our VK3002D. That's the Daimler one with the 88mm gun. Tier 7 game with Tier 6 tanks in it, Tier 5 tanks in it actually. Okay, we've got a Zaddy Micah up there. That was probably one of the tanks that was actually moving about. It could have been the KV-1, but she's pumped around in. Unfortunately, hits this side of the house. She needed to actually place the shell the other side. And there's something she can hit. The Type 64, even though he's obscured by the rock at the moment, she can put a shell at that end. And she's almost reloaded. Standard reload, 25.89 seconds. She's got 21.46. She did get a direct hit. Yep. It's how you do it. Good shot. You get a sense, as an Arty player, you get a sense of tanks you can hit and tanks you can't. Now he's pulled back in, so this shell will probably hit the ground. Oh, but she did kill him. He did change position, but she splash killed him. Wow, that was efficient. Okay, so we did see a Leo just around the corner. And NightshadeBunny is going to put a round in there. Rounds out. And she got a direct hit. And the M44 on the enemy team's gone down. There's also a Scorpion there. And that's the tier 7 American Scorpion with the 90mm gun. There we go. He's got very low armor, which makes him an easy kill if we can get a direct hit. Okay, he's down. He'll hide behind the rock. I would put him behind the rock. Oh, look at that. She did get him. She did go behind the rock. And she's just scored another kill. 2 kills now. And we've got somebody headed our way. It's the Leo, but he's very low on hit points. He's firing at us. She's trying to auto aim on. And she gets another kill with an auto aim. Oh, that's adding insult to injury to the enemy. And it's just that Sadiomaika that's left. That's all they've got. Can she get another kill? It would be certainly very funny if she did. No, unfortunately, the KV2 claimed another one, and that is the end of the game. Well, NightshadeBunny is getting better and better. That's a first-class tanker for NightshadeBunny in the M44. She got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 10 in that one. And her win rate was 3,839, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, she managed to get 1,656 hit points of damage, which was the highest on her team, but not the highest damage overall. The BC58 on the enemy team got 1,924, which is more than her. In fact, that's the only player who beat her. She was in second place, and that wasn't enough to get 20% of the enemy hit pool, which is why the BC58 did not get a high caliber. The third highest damage in that game actually went to the Leo on the enemy team, one of the tanks she killed with an auto aim. 1,337 went to him. When it came to kills, though, we can see that she did get the tops. She got 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Jagdpanther, the KV2, and the FV201 on our team. And only one player on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was their Leo. When it came to base XP, she got that one too. So she's got the top in all 3 columns. Well, she didn't get the top on that one. No, she's only got the top in 2 columns. That's right. 780 to NightshadeBunny. 724 went to the AMX CLC. And 655 went to the IKV 103. She fired 9 rounds. She got 5 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and 4 splash. Damage of 1,656, of which 1,633 were at more than 300 meters. The difference being, of course, the Leo. She auto-aimed on him at less than 300 meters. In fact, he could see her, but he just couldn't get the shots on target. She was basically hull down in that position, making it very difficult for him to shoot at her. Let's have a quick look to see which one she got the penetrating shots. I think the Type 64. Yep, she got a pen with that one. And the Scorpion. Yep, pinned that one too. Lovely. So she damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and she earned 8,058 credits on a premium count and 4,680 experience points out of that game as well, including getting 2,340 for mission completion. So, really good game, and I like the blind kill. It was a blind kill on Type 64. I thought he would have pulled away from behind the rock because he wouldn't want to risk getting splashed with the next round. But NightshadeBunny adjusted her fire just a little bit to fire a bit further back, and he was still within the blast radius. So he went down with that shot, a complete blind kill. And then, of course, she knew the Scorpion was there. She aimed in the shot behind the rock, knowing full well that he would hide behind that rock And yes, she nailed him. So that was a good first battle. Let's have a look at her second contribution. The second replay is in the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. We're on the south spawn or east spawn of Malinovka. Game on! Tier 10 game with Tier 9 tanks. And the M53 M55 is a crowd favourite because, of course, it does produce big bangs at the other end. It's fairly accurate. It's got a turret, which means that it can aim over a wide area. And it's just a good all-round Arty. Okay, good firing position. I can see that NightshadeBunny is scrolling out every time she's aiming. It might be helpful to her if she was to use the other method, which is hold down the left control key, move the cursor, which suddenly appears when you do that, over the minimap to the area you want to fire at, and then you right click on the mouse at the spot where you want to see, and the aim will go there straight away. Now, it's extremely effective at getting aim on the enemy very, very quickly. You don't have to keep scrolling out every time. You don't have to do that every time. You can just adjust a short distance if the target hasn't moved very far. So some people still use the scroll method, but not over such a large distance. There he was just scrolling all the way from the IS-7 down in the southwest corner of the map, all the way up to the northeast corner of the map to get aim on the enemy. And now she's gone back to the E50M or E50M. And that's where he was last spotted. Okay, our Gonkoviska is now going to have problems because this IS-7, but I'm sure that NightshadeBunny will be able to do some damage. The Gonkoviska didn't like that. He just took a big hit, but he's just derped the IS-7. It didn't do much, unfortunately. And now he's got help because the T-30 is turning up. So NightshadeBunny going to try and intercept this one. Oh, he stopped suddenly, but she's still got some damage on the IS-7. So, yeah, unfortunately, the Gonkovitska's gone down. And there's a special event going up on top of the hill. Rounds out on the Chieftain. Oh, now he's a one-shot. I do believe that's the new Chieftain. And he didn't last very long. You can see NightshadeBunny's using the standard HE ammo with the stun, 900 alpha, 52mm pen, and 10.5 meters on burst radius, between 12.5 and 28 seconds of stun. She's going to fire at the object 268, or is it 263? Oh, she got a hit. Even though he stopped, she still managed to get a hit. But unfortunately, she has to move now because the enemy's getting rather close. And so she's maneuvering amongst the trees, trying to head north because unfortunately her teammates have let the enemy in by the back door. She turns to face the enemy using the bushes for cover. Unfortunately, we've lost sight of most of the enemy and she's still scrolling out. Okay, STB. This is not going very well, unfortunately. Unless, of course, it was their intention to draw the enemy in, get them close so they could then fry them. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out too well. They're around our cap, but they're not actually capping. Of course, they know if they did, it would be curtains for them. Okay, the DBV 152 is in sight. Lost him again. Lot of scrolling going on. Using the other method, of course, with the control key, is very much quicker to aim at the enemy. The moment you start looking at the spot you want to see, it starts dialing in straight away. No, I think the DBV 152 is going to stay where he is or stay hidden. The one that might move is the GeForce tank. Of course, that's the medium tank version that was given at Christmas. The other unfortunate thing about the M53 M55 is you don't get a huge amount of rounds, only 20 to play with. That can be a bit of a problem. There's the GeForce. Okay, so we now know he's behind the building and we can lay a shell in behind that. Go for it, rounds out. And he does get the splash kill. She gets the splash kill, rather, I should say. Okay, got an object 430. We can use that. He's been spotted and he's being attacked by the Minotauro. Okay, so we can lay a shell down right next door to him. Oh, he went down. Taken out by the M5Y in the end. Now, they reckon there's an enemy Arty in there, I think. DBV out in the open. That was the one that was in the buildings near our cap area. He pulled away from there because he was not supported. Doesn't appear to be anyone over there. The DBV is in a position where we might be able to get a shot. Not sure why she placed the shell down there. There was nothing to suppose that there was anyone there. Now, the thing here is that the trick that I learned on this one is that when you've got a target that's popping up over a ridgeline like that, they have to breach the top of the ridgeline to get their turret to bear on the enemy. So you aim at the opposite hill or the bit further away, and when they break the top of the ridgeline, you can actually see it turn red, and then you know you've got the target. In fact, he's come around the other way, which is fatal for him because he will get hit now. That's a hit. 392. Unfortunately, our Type 68 is getting absolutely hammered, and he didn't last very long. He got hit twice by the Arty, and so he lost too many hit points going after the DBV, but we've now got sight of another enemy, a Death Star, FV215B183. Been spotted by the Minotaur on our team. But we're staying with the DBV152. We're one up on the enemy at the moment, so things are still going well. Now she's working out where the enemy Arty might be, and it looks to me like, yes, they're probably down this end. Now that was a bit of a guess, which I wouldn't have said would be much chance of actually succeeding. It's better to look from above, actually, to work out where the enemy tracer's starting and then extrapolate back to the firing position. You need to see the tracer. Sometimes it helps if you press the V key so that you can take away the visual marks. There you go. In fact, actually, we now know that he is on this side. Only 2 minutes left now. There's only 4 enemies remaining, though. They've cleared the DBV-152, so he's gone. There's an MBTB, which seems to be quite a powerful tank, and there he is. He's been spotted. Now, can we put the next round into him? We've got 3 rounds of HE. Make use of it. And he goes over the edge into the water. And at least we've stunned him. Enemy Arty's been spotted. The Sharpview GeForce has been spotted. You can see NightshadeBunny changing position. At this point in the battle, I don't think there's any chance the enemy's going to be able to get you from knowing where your spot is. But that M53, M55 is a one-shot. I'd go for that. That will be my target. Go for the M53. The pattern's about to nail him anyway. She's going for the MBTB. If she fires that in, she is going to stun her IS-4 at the same time. She's trying to lengthen the aim point or get the aim point in the water. Changed her mind. There's only 1 enemy remaining. The batch out 155-55. And he's been spotted. We've got 18 seconds left to win this. And he dies, and that is a win with 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a third-class tanker for NightshadeBunny of OLIMP in the M53 M55. She managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 5 exactly. She also got a Confederate because she hit more of the enemy than anyone else on her team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And in fact, she only got the 1 kill in the game, which the G saw, and of course, he got splashed to death. She got a win rate of 1,762, which is very good. Let's have a look at team score. Well, she didn't get the highest damage in this game. That went to the MX50B, who got 4,244 hit points. Second highest damage was that MBTB, and I'm seeing a lot of these guys get high figures. So either the people are good players, or they are finding this an easy tank to play. 3,833 hit points went to that guy. And the third highest damage was the DBV152, and I'm finding a lot of players getting a lot of on that one. But of course, Arty can nail them. 3,694 went to that guy. We can see NightshadeBunny picked up 1,661. When she managed to get on kills, she only got the 1, as I said. 4 kills went to the M5Y, 3 kills went to the M48 pattern on our team, and the MBTB on the enemy team. And then 2 kills went to the MX50B and the BZ75 on our team. And on the enemy team, the DBV152 and the IS7 both got 2 kills. When it came to base XP, we can see that NightshadeBunny is about mid-table, 678 to her. The top scorer was the M5Y. 1,006 went to that guy. 847 went to the M48 pattern. 830 went to the Minotauro. NightshadeBunny fired 15 rounds in the game, so she still had spare ammo at the end. She got 3 direct hits on the enemy, none of them were penetrated though, and 11 splash. 1,661, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, kill 1, so there's the Confederate. 415 hit points, a stun assist of 8 stuns. On a premium count, she actually made a loss off this game of 19,600 credits. Mainly down to the fact that she had to auto supply the consumables. That's why it's actually preferable to buy them when they're cheap at half price. She also picked up 5,085 experience points out of that one after completing a mission for 4,068. So 2 good games by NightshadeBunny. 1 yields a first class and well, as you saw it, the M44, a first class and a bruiser, and only 3 kills, but quite a good win 8. And of course, the second one getting a Confederate. So yes, now she's starting to pick up medals on a regular basis. Hope you enjoyed these replays. If you did, please give them a like, and thank you for watching.